everybody, welcome to a new episode. This one is called How to Love Your Body When It Feels Impossible to Do. And we talk about self love. There's a lot of that going around at the moment, which is amazing because we're bringing awareness to that. But how do you love your body when you literally can't stand to look in the mirror? So I want to tell you a little story. So let's rewind back 3 years ago when I was trying on clothes in a certain changing room, not mentioning any names, but to be honest, all changing rooms have fluorescent, unforgiving lighting. And the changing room that I was in, the mirrors had a very clever, or horrible, probably is the best word. Then I thought it was horrible. A very clever positioning so you can see yourself like from the sides, from the back, like everywhere, so you can see what you're wearing and what you look like. Clever, okay? But I could see every single angle. I could see every single piece of cellulite on my legs, every bulge of fat from my bra and my pants because they were digging in because they were always too small. And I just stood there and I absolutely loathed what I saw. Like, I need to use the word loathed because hate wasn't a strong enough word. And to be even more dramatic than I'm already being, let me paint a visual. So if hate was a visual, there would have been radioactive rays going from my eyes all the way over every part of my body. And I was staring at myself with so much hate, wishing my cellulite would just go away, wishing I could just literally slice fat off parts of my body where my curves were. And this was just one of the thousands of times that I've felt so much hate towards my whole body. And it makes me so sad to think of that now because I can't even describe the anxiety and the self-hate and the panic that I felt when I used to look at myself on a day-to-day basis. And during these times, this was just one of many hundreds and thousands of times that I felt this way when I looked in the mirror. During these times, self-love felt so far away, it wasn't even tangible. Tangible, is that a word? Tangible. It wasn't even something that crossed my mind because I didn't even know that that was even possible for me. So I want to fast forward a little bit to my healing journey. So my healing journey began with self-love. After breaking down like numerous times and literally not knowing what to do to make myself happy anymore, I hired a coach who specialised in self-love and spirituality, which I knew nothing about. I'd literally got to the stage where I was tired, I was worn out, I was frustrated, I hated myself so much, I had no self-confidence in myself at all because I couldn't stick to a diet for even longer than one day. And I ended up binging for months and then dieting for like one day, and then the binges would literally last weeks and months. I was so unhappy, I was so depressed, I was so ashamed of myself and embarrassed that I just couldn't, in the past I could diet and I was really fit and I had all these muscles. Like, what the hell was wrong with me? What had happened to me? I felt like that was my rock bottom. I just completely gave up and was like, I need help because I don't know what else to do. Like, nothing I'm doing is working. So I desperately wanted, as I was getting help, I still desperately wanted to be toned and slim like I used to be. And I just couldn't get there anymore. And I wondered if it was at all possible to love myself or even at least accept and like myself the way I was. And I remember crying in the mirror one time to my mum, and because I hated the way I looked, and I remember just crying in her arms and saying, Mum, I just wish now that I wish that I didn't care so much about my body. I just wish that I didn't care. Like, I'm even so done with trying to achieve the perfect body and trying to be a size 8 or size 10 and trying to have abs and trying to, all this pressure, but I didn't know how to just accept myself as I was. And I remember crying so hard and just wishing to just accept myself so bad and just wishing that I didn't put my whole self-worth in my body. I wish so badly that I could just not really care or give a shit. And I didn't know how to get that, but I wanted it so much. So it turns out, guys, that all those things I've just said is 1,000,000% possible. And I can't even I can't tell you how amazing it feels. And I know I talk about this a lot when I talk to you guys, but this is why I do what I do, because I want you to have it too. So, again, I hired a coach to help me. She was amazing and she set me off on my healing journey, and I couldn't have done it without her. I also read so many self-help books in all sorts of areas, like I started off with nutrition because, of course, I thought that nutrition was the answer. If I could just understand how food and my body worked, then maybe I could feed her better. No, and then, the best nutritionist in the whole world is your own body. So then I started to progress to self-love books and spiritual books. And one book that caught my eye, that still to this day is one of my most favourite books, is called You Can Heal Your Life, and that's by Louise Hay. And I really highly recommend that you guys read that. You can have it in audio book. I listen to my books because I like to walk and listen. And I really recommend that you check that out. And it got, listening to these books, hiring a coach, it really got me thinking how backwards my thoughts and behaviours were. I used to think that once I lost the weight, then I could love myself. I used to think that once I'd lost 10, 50, whatever pounds, or once I fit into these jeans, or once I got my abs back, or once I ran a marathon, or whatever it was, then I could accept myself, be happy, and then work on self-love after I'd got there, because I just needed to lose the weight first, and then I could work on self-love and self-acceptance. But that's completely backwards, guys. Like, I realised that once I learned how to love myself and accept myself as I was, only then could I move forward and, change the way my body looks, but not from a place of hate, but from a place of love and taking care of her and working out and things like that. And there's a path that you have to go on. You cannot just all of a sudden go from one diet to another diet and think, oh, okay, this diet, I'm just going to go from a place of self-love. I mean, if you can do that, amazing. That is a huge mindset shift. There's things you have to do in between to get body and self-acceptance first, and then you can start changing from a place of love, but you need to find food freedom and body acceptance first. So let's fast forward to the present day then, as I am now. So after so many ups and downs, a hell of a bumpy ride, I can really say with confidence that I now love my body and I totally accept all of my cellulite, all of my rolls, all of my curves, and if I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror unexpectedly, instead of thinking like I used to, like literally, oh my God, I look absolutely disgusting, like I literally feel sick, I hate my life, I hate myself, like I'm just horrible, I think nothing. And let me expand on that. So I don't look in the mirror and think, oh yeah, my cellulite is awesome and I love my belly rolls, and because I don't love that. I'm not going to lie and think it's the best thing ever, but hateful thoughts do not come into my mind anymore. And I have total acceptance. I accept me for who I am. I know that I'm so worthy of love, especially from myself, just because I'm alive. So are you. I know that my body does not dictate my worth. I know that my body works miracles for me every second to keep me alive, and she wants me to be healthy and fit. She looks after me every day. My body isn't my enemy anymore. She's my best friend, and that may sound corny or whatever, but how would you say your relationship with your body is? Do you say that it's a love-hate relationship if she's doing something that you wanted to look like or to fit into? Do you then accept her? And what about on the days when you're not feeling so much confidence towards her? Like, you need to look at the relationship you have with yourself. And seriously, if you learn how to befriend your body instead of fighting against her, you're going to achieve so much more. And first and foremost, you're going to feel so much peace within yourself and just so much love and happiness that I can't even describe it. I mean, my body is awesome. She's fit, she's strong, she's powerful, and she loves me so much, and I love her back in return. You can do the same. When I say the word I'm also talking about you, because we can all have this. And yeah, if I look in the mirror one day and she doesn't look exactly how I would prefer her to look, I no longer abuse her by starving her and then force feeding myself. If someone doesn't find me attractive, so what? Like, it's really not the end of the world because I have enough love for myself. I don't need it from external sources anymore. Yes, it's nice to be told, oh, you look nice, or I think you look like this, or whatever. It's nice because as humans, we like to be acknowledged. We like to be made to feel welcome, part of the pack. We want to be loved and lusted after. But I don't need it anymore because like I said, I have so much love for myself. I don't need it from external sources to fill me up. And once you get to that stage, it's so free. Like, me and my body are on the same team, and it feels so free not to worry and stress what I look like all the time. Like, I can't even describe how epic it feels. I used to sit there and then constantly pull around at my clothes to make sure my jeans were pulled up over my belly or my top was down or whatever. Like, it caused me so much time, thinking time and stressing time. It's awesome, guys. And I want this for you too. So I know personally and deeply what self loathing and self hate feels like. And I used to be so insecure about my body, I couldn't even have a shower or get changed in with a light on. I had to turn the light off and make it pitch black because I didn't want to see myself. I didn't want anyone to see me, even my partner. I'd be angry towards him if he if he saw me naked. I'm not sure how that works, but it affected how I acted with other people as well because I felt so low about myself. And I legitimately, right, if my boyfriend surprised me with a Caribbean holiday the next day or the next week when I was feeling low about my body, I would legitimately have been like, well, I'm not going because I haven't got time to lose weight. I literally would have not gone, and that's how I wouldn't have gone. There's no way. I mean, now, if he's listening and he wants to take me to the Caribbean tomorrow, that's fine. Because a bikini body is just a body with a bikini on it. Like, it's so simple, but it's not our fault we feel like this because we're driven by social media and the whole diet industry and everything. But this is a really powerful question to ask you. Let me ask you this. There's two questions I want to ask you. If you were born on a desert island and it was just you and your family, would you actually give a shit what you look like? Or, I don't mean give a shit as in don't take care of yourself, because self-love comes with self-care and it's about nurturing and looking after yourself and your body. But would you even give a shit at what size, well, you won't wear any clothes because you'll probably be naked, but what size tree branch you wrap around yourself at night or whatever? I'm just randomly making stuff up. But would you care? Like, put it into perspective. Or if the whole world was, if the whole world, the only size models that was you ever saw in your whole entire life were like size, I don't know, I'm talking English size, so like a UK size 16 or above, or European size large or extra large or whatever, it doesn't matter. If every single model you ever saw in your life was classed as like a plus size model, would you feel differently about your body now? Would we all be stressing and striving to put weight on to look like these models? These questions are just questions that you can ask yourself, and although it doesn't change how you feel overnight, it's so worth exploring the answers to these questions because it's the culture that we're brought up in. I mean, there's a culture, I think it's in America or Africa somewhere. Sorry for the lack of exact knowledge, but I read somewhere or listened somewhere, and this stayed on my mind for a long time. There's a culture where stretch marks on women are considered sexy and attractive. So when children reach the age of 13 years old, they actually get sent to fat camp to put weight on, and they're like force fed, which isn't very nice, of course, but they're force fed, so they put extreme amount of fat on, so they have stretch marks, and then they're let out again. So, like, that's fucked up. But then they might look at our society and our culture and think, well, that's fucked up what you do. So it's just our environment that is brainwashed us to think and feel this way. So we can undo everything we've learned, and we can just accept ourselves for who I am. I mean, if you're listening to this or watching this right now, I'm sure you've been where I've been, or you're there right now. And I'm sharing my story with you because we can overcome self-hate without having to lose weight first. I want to help you lose yourself. I want to help you love yourself before you lose the weight, not after. And again, you don't even have to lose weight anyway, but it's important that you go in that process. And I really know how trapped and anxious and depressed self-disgust can feel, and it took me years and years and ups and downs to get out of this big ass hole that I dug myself in. And I think the path towards freedom started the day I decided to give up dieting, the day I decided enough is enough. I don't want to carry on anymore, but I don't know what to do. It started the day I reached out for help, and it started the day I decided to end the war with myself. It started the day I decided that whatever my coach is going to tell me to do, even if I think it's stupid or I don't want to do it or it's uncomfortable, I'm going to do it anyway, because I'm so dedicated to my recovery. And I had nothing to lose because I was already at rock bottom. So what was there to lose? And then look at me now. So it's so worth it. And this ending the war with yourself, it makes so much sense in retrospect, because by choosing to continue battling and fighting with yourself, it's only natural that when you stop fighting with yourself, that your thoughts of self-hate just gradually dissolve away. If you imagine a tug of war, and you've got the tug of war and you've got both ends and you're tugging against yourself, if you just drop the rope one side and just walk away, there's nothing for your other side to tug against. So she's not going to keep tugging because there's nothing to tug against. I hope that makes sense. So when you're caring and compassionate towards yourself and towards your body, the rest will follow. The steps you need to take and things you need to learn. But it's so doable. And listening to our bodies, giving our bodies what they want, with regards to food, with regards to exercise, with regards to relationships, whatever. And if we're talking about food, if you're noticing you're going for a bag of cookies when you're not hungry, that's fine, because I don't teach just intuitive eating and only eat when you're hungry, because that's like the intuitive eating diet and it's all about dieting mentality. But that's okay. Just get curious with yourself and be like, oh, I wonder why I'm reaching for these cookies. Is it because I'm bored? Is it because I'm sad? Do I just want a distraction? And then just give yourself that time and space to acknowledge what you're doing, feel what feelings you're feeling, and then make a conscious decision with no judgment on what your next action is going to be. And whatever will be. And then sometimes you'll listen to your body and sometimes you'll listen to your mind. But when you're all on the same team, there's no guilt or shame around it, and you just end up just living your life, and and you're just happy, and it's amazing. So if body love for you feels so out of control right now, and I totally understand how you feel, that's okay. It doesn't come all at once. In fact, it can't come all at once. You can't wake up tomorrow and be like, right, I've decided I'm going to love myself. Mindset is everything, but you've got to practice each day with little things and do some body image work, and that helps shift the perspective. It helps shift that inner bitch in your head that's always putting you down all the time. There's tools and things you can use to stop that inner bitch ruling your life, and you need to become aware of her and then flip it round and then say something that you do like about yourself. But then sometimes if you're so adamant you don't like yourself, it doesn't help when you say an affirmation of I am amazing or I am beautiful when you don't think it. So I've got ways you can go around that to help your subconscious mind find ways that you are beautiful and you are amazing. And again, it's a long journey, okay, for many of us, but I'm so honoured to be able to be on this journey with you, and I really hope I'm providing you with value, and I'm hoping that I'm helping you on your own journey. But if you would like help with your self-love journey, I can walk you hand in hand through the process, and you can get to the other side where I am now. And again, it feels so free, so liberating, so empowering, and just so peaceful. Body confidence, self-love, self-acceptance, food freedom are waiting for you. The question is, are you ready for it? And if you're ready, I would love to help you. And I offer an hour every day to give someone a free coaching call, and we can talk with a no obligation call, chat about what's going on with you, what you're struggling with, how I can help you in that call, and then how I can help you going forward. So reach out if you need help. I'd love to be there for you. And have an amazing rest of the day. And as always, you can have, be, and do whatever you want. You've just got to go out there and get it. I love you guys.